Hi, everybody. TGIF. Hello, hello. Looking to do something this weekend? How about Parks Casino in Shippensburg? Celebrating their second anniversary, a perfect time for you to take my recommendation and check out all the action, entertainment, and excitement that they have to offer in central Pennsylvania and 100% smoke free. Less than an hour from our state capital of Harrisburg. What are you going to find inside? A lot of fun stuff. All the gaming, 500 state-of-the-art slot machines, 48 live dealer electronic table games featuring blackjack and roulette, a great daily happy hour. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, probably Parks Casino, Shippensburg. And then here's what I really wanted to mention. Tonight is comedy night. Kevin Downey Jr. from America's Got Talent headlines tonight. This Saturday, tomorrow night, live music with Cameron Molly and the Driven Wheel. And you can wager and watch all your favorite sports at the Bet Parks kiosks in the Side Pocket and enjoy the Side Pocket Stadium menu all day long. So lots of great stuff. I'm looking at you, Hagerstown, Maryland, Winchester, Virginia, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, Martinsburg, West Virginia, and many more. Take a drive. Enjoy Parks Casino, Shippensburg. Get in on all the action. Visit parkscasino.com. Got to be 21. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, I see yesterday's poll result and today's poll question as being related, but it might not be entirely obvious. So let me take a shot at explaining this. Yesterday, 26,119 voted on the question of which nomination is more in peril, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or Tulsi Gabbard. And 2/3, 58.24%, said Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I think that's the wrong answer. I think more in peril is Tulsi Gabbard. And I said yesterday when I came on radio, hey, don't rush to vote based on having seen Robert F. Kennedy's day one testimony when he was in front of the Senate Finance Committee. He gets 2 hearings. Then he came back in front of the acronym is HELP, that committee, more focused on health policy. Because yesterday it was day 2 of Kennedy, but it was day 1 of Gabbard. And it was also day 1 and only day 1 of Kash Patel. And there were lots of fireworks yesterday on Capitol Hill with all 3 of these hearings. You had an interesting exchange between Senator Maggie Hassan talking about her son with a disability, questioning Robert F. Kennedy Jr., excoriating him really from questioning the science as she sees it relative to autism. Incredible exchange, and one that I will play on radio today. So there was Maggie Hassan and there was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. There were any number of senators, Langford and Warner among them, and Tulsi Gabbard, along the lines of, do you still think that Edward Snowden was brave? Because you said so before and you introduced legislation wanting all the charges dropped against him. Then you had Kash Patel, nominated by President Trump to be the head of the FBI, a very interesting exchange with Amy Klobuchar. I'll play that on radio as well. But none of this got the attention that it would on any other day for an obvious reason, which is that the nation was trying to sort out what had gone wrong with that catastrophe the night before in Washington, D.C., that took the lives of 67 Americans. That's understandable that as that's all coming to light and as they're literally fishing bodies out of the Potomac, our focus and the focus of cable is going to be there. But frankly, that whole conversation about the catastrophe got hijacked by President Trump when he dropped the DEI bomb into the White House press briefing yesterday, surrounded by the vice president, the Secretary of Defense, and the Secretary of Transportation, who all took their lead from him and praised his leadership and spoke of the need to have qualified people. We don't know what this story is really about yet. It seems I'm totally read in as of this moment in time, but it's changing. By the time you listen to me or watch me, it may be dated. The helicopter was where it should not have been. The helicopter was where it should not have been. It was too high in the sky, it seems. But Trump has turned this into a conversation about dwarfism and DEI policy put into effect by Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden in the same way that I was appalled by him going to Asheville, not for that part, and talking about how he won North Carolina. He's there to give comfort and provide federal relief to the victims of the hurricane that hit Asheville. And he's talking about poll results. And then he went to Southern California, same day, the Friday after he had been inaugurated. My God, is that a week ago today? It feels like it's been 5 years. And again, he talks about the political support that he drew from particular communities. He sees everything through the lens of himself. And on a day when it should have been only about mourning and a search for truth, he took it in a totally different direction. And instead of talking about Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Kash Patel, it became a conversation about DEI. And I watched last night. Of course I watched last night. I wanted to see how's this going to be treated on Fox. I watched all the coverage, meaning all the cable outlets, and they took it hook, line, and sinker. They took it hook, line, and sinker. And so for half the country, and for all the country who don't do what I do for a living, which is digest news, everybody else has, a conventional job. But I say to myself, there are many among us going to walk around today, and if they're at a water cooler, assuming they're back in the workplace, a lot of assumptions here, but, and the conversation is one of, what happened? What was the cause? You're probably going to hear that, the air traffic controllers were black, or that there was a dwarf, in the cockpit of one of these. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I think it's largely deliberate. He wanted to control the news cycle. He always wants to control the news cycle. And this was a twofer for the president in that he controlled the news cycle. And he also took attention away from the hearings and the most controversial nominees on Capitol Hill. That's what I think. Today's poll question, I know it's going to be a lopsided result. I knew it when I wrote it, but I wanted to make it about DEI, and I'm asking, is DEI a factor in the DC crash? And what I really have my eye on is, how high will the yes votes go? When I posted it, it was at 10%, which is about what I would figure. I hope it doesn't grow higher than that, because that would really be a sign of President Trump's success. Yeah, I see all these events as being related. He wants to be front and center always. He had added motivation to want to be front and center yesterday, take attention away from what was going on Capitol Hill. And his shiny object is DEI, because that is like throwing chum in the water for the sharks. That is just meat for the troops. They love that. Talking about DEI just well suits his base. But as I see it at this moment in time, if it becomes a DEI story, we'll talk about it. DEI is a legitimate conversation to have. But time and a place, and based on relevance and facts, which I don't see at this moment in time. Let's talk about why there weren't enough people in the air traffic control. Let's talk about why the helicopter seemingly was where it should not have been. Let's talk about the fact that the day before, it seems like there was a similar circumstance. Let's talk about the fact that there have been other near misses. That's all legitimate. Dwarfism? Really? Just appalling. And Caitlin Collins very appropriately asked, the follow-up. Well, why are you talking about DEI? What's the basis? He had none. What did he say? Common sense. Really? Common sense. So, greetings. Vote on the poll question. Like and subscribe. And do me a favor, set up notifications. Set up notifications so that when I'm here and offering opinions, you're in the loop on that. I hope I see you on radio and television, and I appreciate you being here. See ya.